Hi, I've had psoriasis now for the last 11 years. When I was diagnosed at first, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I had just contracted hepatitis C and was starting treatment for that. So the psoriasis, which had developed on my lower back and was moving down the back of my legs, had to wait, really. It wasn't a great situation, but I could only really focus on one issue at a time. Otherwise, it just became a bit too overwhelming. It was a difficult time for me. I felt it was me against the world, really, with me trying to deal with both of those conditions at the same time. So I focused on my hepatitis C treatment, but after a few months I had to admit to myself and to my partner, really, that psoriasis was really affecting me too. I had developed smooth red patches kind of between my buttocks, and then thick itchy patches down the backs of my legs. I could hardly sit down without flinching because of the friction that was being caused by the psoriasis, and yeah, I really couldn't bear to look at my legs. I stopped looking at myself in the mirror. I really didn't like the way that my body looked or felt, actually. It felt like everything was going wrong with it, inside and out. So I was really embarrassed. And my self-esteem just nosedived, reached all new levels of low. And my partner was really great, gave me loads of compliments and encouragement. But if I'm honest, I couldn't really hear that. It fell on deaf ears. I avoided going out socially. And even at work, I was rude to my colleagues and even to customers. So overall, I would say that the psoriasis, it made me more irritated and shorter tempered with people than I really intended to be. So it was becoming a big issue for me. Together with the dermatologist, we tried a variety of options for my psoriasis. And although the consultations seemed on the short side, my partner and I, we made a real effort to make a list of all the ways that it had affected me between visits and how the psoriasis had progressed. And for a long time, that was a moving goal because it does take time to find something that works. With something like psoriasis, you can't just go to a doctor and expect them to have, the right answer straight away, the magic bullet, if you will. But one thing the doctor did really help me with was to help me understand that if I spoke to someone about my self-esteem issues, that could help my progression. And they weren't wrong. To date, I can still feel uncomfortable about the way that I look, but most days I do actually manage to smile for myself in the mirror. I've learned that psoriasis, it's part of who I am, and it will always be there, and actually that's okay. So it's my attitude that's changed, really. The dermatologist and I have found something that works for me, and having an open dialogue with them is also really helpful. That actually works. There are flare-ups, but I've found ways of stopping it from affecting my emotions and turning me into someone that I'm not. I think it's important when you have psoriasis to understand that it is something that you can manage, that it's not just going to rule your life, that you can actually beat it into some kind of submission. You are so much more than just your psoriasis, and it's not your psoriasis that's defining you. It's just another part of who you are.